Okay, hello, this is Baltimore Fats, and this is my second video. This one is really impromptu, as this was something that just happened to me yesterday. Um, as I was saying in my introductory video, I guess we'll call it now, I live in Baltimore, and I've been caught up in the mud flood wave, as it were, since the early summer when I really started to investigate it. And so the other day, I noticed this church in my neighborhood that I'd never really noticed before. It's kind of like in a pocket away from my normal walking paths. And so the other day, while I was walking to get my son from school, I decided to take a little, detour and take a couple pictures of this church. And so this is what happened to me. This is the adventures of a wandering mud flooder in Baltimore. This church. You notice, these are metal up here. I'm trying to blow it up a little bit better. I'm not good at this stuff. I took these on my phone. Wasn't quite sure what I was going to see, but this is metal up here. There's a metal rim. That could tie into the free energy aspect of it. But it's a beautiful church. I noticed it immediately. Made me think of mud flood. We got the triptych of windows here, raised stairwells, so I thought it was going to be, just cool to take a couple pictures. It was the Scott Street Baptist Church, opened in 1888 and functioning to 1906, it says. So 1888, there's that key, falls right in those key years there. This was on the side of it, and you see this a lot in Baltimore, sort of, bay doors into the sidewalk. I'm sure if you were to open that up, there's a door under there. And as I get going with more videos about Baltimore City, you're going to see a lot of this. Again, this just happened to me yesterday, and I can't wait to show you guys what I found. So as I'm just walking by this church and taking these pictures, I happen to look across the street, and I see this happening. And I've never paid attention to this building before, but it's clearly they're renovating it now. But look at this building. The architecture and the brickwork, it is clearly, you can see the low windows that sort of descend into nothing. This isn't quite as slopey as some Baltimore streets are. So I was really impressed with this building, and I noticed it was under construction, so I started to wander around a little bit. And this is what's happening in the back, and this is what I really wanted to show you mud flood guys. See how much of this I can get in. It doesn't let me scroll so much. I do have another angle of this, but I wanted to show these windows here are below. These are the street level windows, right? This is kind of sort of a parallel to where I am, but these windows are down below the ground, and you can see the discoloration here, that this stuff was all buried at one point. And see, and the brickwork is definitely worn. I was really intrigued by this, but unfortunately I could not get very close to this construction site. There's, like debris and pallets and fencing all around it. And actually, as I was actively taking this picture, some construction guys came over and asked me what I was doing and who I was, and I just explained that I was fascinated with old buildings and wanted to take pictures of it, and they didn't seem to mind. This is another view of that sidewalk with, low windows here. I wanted to show this detail. This is on top of the building. It's on top of at least two sides. I didn't get to walk around the whole building. I was kind of in a rush. Like I said, I had to go get my son from school. But, we have this clear Star of David pentagram thing going on up here, Not sure about when this building was made or what its original purpose was, but as I get further into my research, I will be trying to find out as much as I can about this building. But I thought this was, the double circle with the Star of David and then the pentagonish shape in the center. Really curious to me. I hadn't really noticed that. Like I said, unfortunately, I just transferred these pictures from my phone. Sorry about that notification there. Hopefully that's probably going to show up on the video, but I don't care. I'm not doing it again. Yeah, like I said, I hadn't really seen this before, and it is on two sides of this building, maybe even all four. But I don't seem to recall it from that backside where I saw those subterranean windows. And then I said, okay, let me look across the street, and then bang, I see this row house. And let's see, you could see this subterranean, not subterranean rather street level, sidewalk level, low window here, and this is a doorway which I walked over and took a picture of, going right down in. So this is kind of like what Rebel Without a Pause is seeing and filming a lot of in Scotland. Although honestly, I haven't seen a lot of moats in Baltimore, but I do see this all the time, and I'm about to inundate the world with pictures of below sidewalk doorways, or at least the YouTube mudflood world anyway. So I thought that was curious. I just sort of stumbled into this little pocket of my neighborhood that I never really wander in because it's, like I said, it's a little bit off my normal walking path. Here's a little bit more of the sidewalk. You could see this would have been the top of a window, but it's just covered by sidewalk. This I thought was an interesting structure coming out of the sidewalk with this. I don't know if this is marble or concrete, or I mean, it's definitely not concrete, but it's definitely some sort of stone slab. This is unique. I haven't seen this sort of looking feature in Baltimore. So if anybody has any ideas as to what they were doing with this, I'd love to hear them. Please comment. Another view of the sidewalk here. And here's that other view of the back. Not as good a picture, I don't think, but you can get in closer on this door, maybe. Yeah, kind of doesn't blow up as nicely. I want to try to get back. It's been raining here. It's raining here today, so going out there, maybe it will be a good day. I'll have to see, but you could really see the different layers of brick construction in this as well. I'll try to get a closer up picture. Like I said, this picture was actually hard for me to take, as was the other one, because there just was really very poor angle. And again, I'm just using a cell phone. Terrible photographer, terrible with technology. So I turn around at another angle while I was taking pictures of that building, and I see this building. So I took a picture of it. And definitely has some mud flood characteristics right in my neighborhood. Yeah, this was the first one. So you can see it has this level here where we have the classic sort of red brick, and then down below is more like stone. Perhaps indicating two different levels of construction, like maybe this was built on top of an older structure. I don't know. Here's a better view. This is sort of like a side angle of the corner. You can see definitely the two different layers of brick. This sort of layer here, this door which they built in above this layer, so again, very characteristic of the mud flood period. The buildings that sort of raise interest as could be much older than we think. Excuse me, this is just a side view. And I'm going to wrap it up because I kept walking around the side and I came to the side view of a church which I have taken many pictures of different angles of, but sort of never approached it from this side because I don't really walk down these side streets that much. I do have pictures of the front facade and of this church coming up right here. That's a beauty. I mean, this church is gorgeous. It is a Catholic church today, I believe. You can see the ascending windows here that are all on the same plane, but this is a slope. I'm very curious about this round section here. Perhaps this is where the pipe organ may have been at one point. I want to get into this church. It is open and functioning. I am going to go inside and talk to the pastor, minister, whatever he is, and see what history he knows of the building. But it's going to come in a longer video that I'm going to do about older Baltimore churches. They are everywhere in my neighborhood in South Baltimore. There's so much mud flood evidence. I plan on calling my future series of videos Baltimore, a City Covered in Mud, parts 1 through whatever. And I hope you guys find the work interesting and enjoy it. And please feel free to leave comments. And thank you for watching. This was my quick adventure around my little neighborhood yesterday afternoon. And on the heels of my other video, I wanted to get this out quick because I was excited about it. And so, again, thanks for watching. Cheers, guys.